Today I'll be going over every LEGO Star Wars set made in the year 2000. Let's go. Oh man, how I wish we got more of these. Of course, they're not all made equal, but this original one with the Palpatine, the Vader, the Maul, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I love the cards, I love the variety. This one's almost equally as good. You get the Han, you get the Luke, you get the Boba, another 9 out of 10. Now we slip because you give us two of the same character. There was only 4 of these to ever be made, and 2 of them give you duplicates. 6 out of 10. But now you're gonna give us duplicates of battle droids? Yeah, this one's a 4. They give you a great desert skiff to start out. Yes, it's basic, but this is one of the better ones you get for the first go around. I always love a silver hilt and the figures are good. Not bad for this set. 7 out of 10. Out of the OG trio, X-Wing, Y-Wing, A-Wing, I think this one is easily the worst. The figure selection is pretty bad in comparison to what the other ones give you as well. I'm really not a fan of the blocky design of this one. This one's a 3 out of 10. Smiley faces clash back with the flash speeder, and honestly I like this one a bit better. We've only gotten 2 of these in total, and this one's not too bad. This is a 6 out of 10. Now this is where OG Star Wars peaked. The freaking Fadu in this, the cart, the Gungans, the shield printed. I actually love this one. This is a 9 out of 10. The OG Slave 1 might be the worst case of this looks way too blocky. Every single version since it looks astoundingly better. But the Boba and the Carbonite are still so good to this day. So honestly, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I can't believe these were released in the same year. The Slave 1 being so blocky and so ugly, and this looking so sleek and so good even to this day with the printed domes on the bottom. This is a 9 out of 10. Now for the pod racing bucket, which I only found out about this year. I like the variety of the pod racers. Of course, their builds aren't the greatest thing. The fact they give you 3 pod racers and none of the drivers is just kind of a joke. So I'm giving this one a 4 out of 10. The B-Wing isn't my favorite, but I do love the fact that they gave a little control center there. Some printed screens, some little control panels, a little cart. I like this one altogether as a set. This is an 8 out of 10. And then for the MTT, of course, this is the worst one we've gotten. Anytime you see just flat panels on the side with no brick decorations, this is just bad. Of course, it's nice to get like 8 battle droids, but this is still a 5 out of 10. But I do like the first Falcon. In fact, this is the only one to ever get like a sloped dome that's printed. I kind of like, but of course, flat areas with no details takes it down a notch. So this is only a 7 out of 10 for me. In 2000, we got 3 LEGO Technic Star Wars sets. Never before and never after have we had the sets labeled like this. And honestly, I think the pit droid might be the best of them all. I like the tube to wrap around and make it circular. This one I think holds up the best, so I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And now for the one I think holds up the worst, the battle droid. That head looks really funky, but somehow you still manage to get the chest, the posture, everything looks pretty decent on him anyway, so it's still a 6 out of 10 for me. And then right in the middle of the two, you got a Droideka, and I honestly think this hits right at the 7 out of 10. The eyes look a little funky, but the shape is still pretty good, but we definitely got a better Droideka this year. In the year 2000, we got our first UCS sets, and the TIE Interceptor does come in swinging. I love the blue little accents they got, like all the old school ties. I love the octagon shape for the cockpit. I don't think any other one since had that. And when it's on the display on the stand, it's facing upwards. This is a really good start for UCS. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. But when we tilt over to the X-Wing side, I don't like it as much. The really pointy brick-built nose on this one doesn't work as good as the sloped ones in the future. I'm also much more of a fan of the TIE Fighters when they're made in the white instead of the gray. Even if it's accurate, I don't really care. I just think it looks really bland. But for the wing design and the shape otherwise, it's still pretty good, so I gotta give it a 7 out of 10. So for this year all around, it gave a 127 out of 190, which is a 67% about. And honestly, that makes sense. It's better than the last year. There's a couple that really stick out, like the AAT, the Gungan Patrol, and some of the figure packs, but of course, they stumble in a couple places, and they also just did not have the technology to make some peak sets like they do now. So you can already see that LEGO Star Wars is on an upswing compared to last year, so I predict that next year is going to be even higher. So stay tuned for 2001.